Everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing really well. It's been a while I have shared any learning tutorials. So today I have come up with a new learning tutorial where we will discuss about Sonar Cloud and its integration, as you can see in my screen. And during this course, the objective of this course will be to discuss about Sonar Cloud. Why do we need Sonar Cloud? Its integration steps with any of the GitHub repos, and then we will see a live demo, and then finally we will talk about miscellaneous items. Right, so to start with, let's talk about what is Sonar Cloud. So if you guys remember, in our earlier videos we had discussed about Sonar Cube, where we were manually doing a setup of Sonar Cube server, and then we were executing the Sonar scanner against any of the GitHub repos, and then finally we were seeing a nice looking dashboard in the Sonar Cube app, which was talking about the code smells, security vulnerabilities, right? And many more. So similarly, in this specific case, right, let's talk about Sonar Cloud. So what is Sonar Cloud? So Sonar Cloud is a cloud-based service where it helps us to provide a server, right, where Sonar Cube is already running it. So what we have to do here is, instead of doing a manual setup of Sonar Cube, we will just use Sonar Cloud host. That's it, and we are done. We don't have to do any manual setup for Sonar Cube. So this is the main advantage of having a Sonar Cloud in place. And as I mentioned, it's a cloud-based service. So of course it comes with some plan which has a certain cost based on the execution we will be performing on our GitHub repos, right? So first point we had covered, which is what is Sonar Cloud. So to summarize, it's a cloud-based service which provides us a up and running Sonar Cube host where we can publish our analysis using Sonar Scanner, and the same can be viewed in the Sonar Cloud platform itself. Now why Sonar Cloud? I have covered this as well. The reason which I have found personally helpful, we don't have to do a manual setup of Sonar Cube, right? Since it's a cloud based, so Sonar Cube is already up and running, so we'll have to just use the host as sonarcloud.io instead of our manual configure Sonar Cube host. Now how will we do the integration? We will see in a while. Okay, so to start with, so as you can see in my screen, right, so this is my GitHub account, right? So before I begin, let's discuss about what all prerequisite item we should be having in order to proceed with Sonar Cloud integration with our GitHub. So first we must be having an account in GitHub. Next, it is not necessarily that we should be having an account in Sonar Cloud. We will see in an action in a while, right? So considering these two options are already configured, so what we have to do is, as you can see in my screen, so this is the URL sonarcloud.io, where it has several options to analyze your repo. As you can see in my screen, it has GitHub, Bitbucket, Azure DevOps, and GitLab, right? So here we will be talking about GitHub integration. So as soon as you click on GitHub, I believe I had already logged into Sonar Cloud. So what it will do is, it will redirect me to the Sonar Cloud app or landing page itself. So I'll click on this, and as I mentioned, as you can see, already one of the GitHub repos is listed here. And if you guys can recall, it is very similar to what we have already seen while doing the integration of SonarQube with any of the uh, apps. In our tutorial, we had discussed about Node.js app. So similarly, as you can see here, again, this is a Node.js app, and I had already integrated with Sonar Cloud. That's the reason it is listed here. And if I narrow down to this specific app, as you can see, the same analysis is being displayed here, which is very similar to what we have already seen in SonarQube tutorial, right? So now let's do kind of reverse engineering. So first, let's see whatever is already present here, and then what I'll do, I'll delete all of this, right? And then we'll see from the scratch, so that you guys can also reproduce it in your local while doing the similar setup, right? So first step, let's delete this. Let's delete the integrated app in the GitHub. So I'll just show you where it is being displayed or shown. So profile, go to profile, settings, click on applications, and as you can see, within the applications tab or view, there's another tab called installed GitHub apps, and you can see here Sonar Cloud. I'll come to this page again, and if you click on authorize GitHub apps, you can see this Sonar Cloud as well, right? So these are the primarily tabs we'll be talking about in this tutorial. So coming back to the first tab, as you can see, we have a configure option. So if you click on it, you will see what all GitHub repos you want to scan. So as of now, I have selected all the repositories, right? So what it will do, it will scan all the repos that are available in my account. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all uninstall the Sonar Cloud, because we'll have to see this in action from the scratch. So I'm going to delete this, and as soon as I delete this, this will disappear from this tab, and similarly we'll have to revoke this access from the GitHub. Now as you can see, nothing has been integrated or available in these two tabs. Now if you go to projects, right, and let's refresh this, so you'll see still this app is appearing here, and the reason is it has already performed the scan and it is integrated with Sonar Cloud. So Sonar Cloud doesn't know what has been removed or added, right, unless we do some action on that specific repo. So what we will have to do here is, let's go to my organization and delete this created organization, right? So this is like confirmation screen, just add it and delete. Now if you go to my account, I'll delete my account as well. As I said, we'll see this in action from the scratch. Let's add this account name here. So as soon as you delete it, now Sonar Cloud doesn't know any accounts are mapped to this organization or not, right? So it automatically redirect you to the login page, sorry, account deleted page, and then we will have to log in and create an organization, and then add or map your GitHub excuse me, add or map your GitHub repos that you want to scan here, right? So now if you go to Sonar Cloud, again you will see the home page. If you click on GitHub, if you don't have already account, I would suggest go and create it. Add some sample apps. It could be any in any language, either Node.js, I mean JavaScript, Java, or PHP, whatever you guys are comfortable with. So if I click on GitHub, it will ask for this permission, right? So what I'll do, I'll just authorize Sonar Cloud to Sonar Cloud, and as soon as I do that, as you can see here, it has already created an account, right? And it is asking me to analyze your first projects. So we have two options here. One, import project from GitHub, or second, it says join an organization. Now, how the hierarchy is, either you can create your own organization or directly integrate with GitHub. So by default, when you integrate with GitHub or import your projects from GitHub, it picks your GitHub account name as an organization. So here I'm going to create a organization manually. Okay, so let's go to my account, organization, create an organization manually. Generally it says that the preferred way is to import the organization from the GitHub profile itself, because in practical what we generally do is, where we work as a team, right? So all your team members are mapped to the same organization, so we don't have to create a manual organization. Whatever is there for your project, right, it will pick that GitHub repos name and it will create as an organization. So for now I'm going to just create that as a custom organization. So what I'll do is I'll create an organization name as learn and share, continue. So as you can see here, there are two plans, right? Initially, if you guys can recall, I talked about it's a cloud-based service. Since it is providing us as a service, so of course there will be some plan, free plan and paid plan. How the free plan works, if you have a public repo, it won't charge anything. Okay, anything it won't charge any amount. But if you want to scan your private repos, then there is a list of plans available, right? But to explore more, it gives us 14 days free trial. But the minimal plan is or it starts with 10 euro, right? And it gives us to or allows us to scan 100k lines of code. The point to be noted here is 100k lines of code in 10 euro per month. Okay, which is well sufficient, I believe. 100k is too much. Okay, so now for now we'll go with free plan. Now click on create organization. Now as soon as you do that, as you can see, organization has already been created, and we have two options here, either add member and analyze new project. So let's say you have a team, right? Of course there will be team members, so you can add them as part of this organization. So what happens whenever you add them, and whenever they push any changes to that specific GitHub repo, it will perform the analysis on that pushed changes of that specific repo. But for now I'll just proceed with analyze new project. So now here various options are there. It depends on how we wanna proceed. Either we can click on analyze new project here itself, or we can go to home page. So if we go to home page, as you can see here, nothing has been listed here, and the reason is we haven't integrated any of the GitHub repos, right? So the options are very similar, like what we have already seen in the Sonar Cube, right? So now let's click on analyze new project. So as soon as I do that, it asks me to choose an organization on GitHub, right? Or we can do a manual creation as well. So now let's select choose an organization on GitHub. Now as you can see here, it is asking for permission, right? Because we are going to integrate with GitHub, so of course GitHub will ask for permission, right? Now just to refresh this, as you can see here, while doing the account creation we had already approved it, hence this Sonar Cloud is appearing here. but nothing has been listed here because we haven't performed this steps, right? Because Sonar Cloud or GitHub doesn't know, what all repos you want to allow or grant access to Sonar Cloud to perform the scan. So now if you click on install, I'm selecting all repositories. So if you, as soon as you click on install, it will start the integration with GitHub, and in a very short span of time, it will get integrated with GitHub. So as you can see here, Sonar Cloud has been installed and we are seeing the configuration option, and it is very similar to what we had already seen while having an introduction section, right? So if you can click on this configure, you will see all repositories have been selected, and the reason is we had selected while doing this configuration. Now coming to this point, as you can see here, it is asking us to create new Sonar Cloud organization from it or build to an existing Sonar Cloud organization. There are two options, and we had discussed a while ago, right? So let's go ahead with build to an existing Sonar Cloud organization because we had already created an organization. If you select this option, it will pick the GitHub profile as I mentioned earlier, and it will create an organization using your GitHub account. So for now, I'm proceeding with the existing account. As you can see here, the created organization is listed here. Just bind it. So as soon as you bind it, you'll see a lot of options here, and these options are nothing but whatever the repos that are listed in your GitHub account or you have already created it, those GitHub repos will appear here, right? So as you can see, the grayed out ones are private one, and same we had discussed earlier, right? So you can't perform analysis on the private repos. For that, you will have to go with a paid plan. So what I'll do, I'll select any of the public repos, and I'll proceed with setup. Now, as soon as I click on setup, as you can see here, it has started analyzing the projects, and that's the beauty of it, right? You don't have to do any manual setup, which we had seen earlier, right? Where we were doing the Sonar Cube setup. First do that, then run the Sonar scanner analysis to see the final outcome in the Sonar Cube dashboard. Here we don't have to anything, since we have already mapped the respective repos integrated with GitHub, and we had clicked on setup, done. And as you can see here, all these analysis are listed in your Sonar Cloud account. Now if we go on Sonar Cloud, you'll see that selected repo is appearing here. Now the flow remains same. Whatever we had already seen in the Sonar Cube tutorial, the flow is absolutely same. No major change here. If you have the admin account, you'll see a lot of options here, and again it is very similar to what we had already seen in the Sonar Cube. These profiles are, these options are there. Go and explore these options, right? And then security hotspots, whatever the parameters are provided by Sonar Cube, or in this specific case Sonar Cloud, all these are listed here, right? Go and fix this. Now as you can see here, list of pull request. So the beauty of this Sonar Cloud here in this specific case is, we had seen that we were getting an option to add team member. Now visualize a scenario where you're working on a project in your organization, and in your project there are, let's say, 5 team members are present, right? And everyone is working on in one of the services. So now what happens whenever they raise any PR, pull request? What happens? We need to know if all the specified parameters or checks are met or not. So how will you do that? So in this specific case, whenever they raise any PR, right, and if they are already added as part of your this learn and share organization, so what happens? Sonar Cloud automatically knows that okay, something has been pushed. Now let me do the analysis. And whenever they do the analysis on that specific raised PR, it will automatically appear here. We will see that in action very soon, right? So let's do that. Okay, now as you can see here, there are 14 code smells, one security hotspots identified by Sonar Cloud for vulnerabilities, and all these details are there. So what we will do here is we will not go to this uh, observation in detail. So we'll see, if someone raises any PR, then how it works in an action, and then how it is going to integrate with Sonar Cloud itself. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll go to this specific repo and I'll pick any of the code smells. For example, let's go to users route, and as you can see here, it says, so this specific line I have added just to test this flow. Okay, so as you can see, it says remove this useless assignment to variable test. So what I have done here is I have added a line where I'm assigning some value to test, but I'm not using it anywhere in the code. So if I go to users controller, and same you can see here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this. Okay, and before I do that, I'll just see where I am. Okay, so currently I'm in this branch. I'll switch to master, take a pull. Okay, so I have all the latest changes now. I'll create a branch. Okay, now I'm going to remove this line because that is what it has reported, right? Remove the useless assignment to variable test. So for now I'm going to remove only this two specific line. So one thing to be noted here is whenever we do a first push, right, it performs the scan on the entire repos. So how it works behind the scene is, I'll just briefly talk about that before I proceed further. So as I said, as soon as we integrate any of the repos to Sonar Cloud, after doing all the prerequisite steps, it performs the scan on the entire repo, whatever the code base you have defined. And where are we defining the code base? I mean, what needs to be scanned? So using the Sonar Cloud properties. In Sonar Cloud, in Sonar Cube tutorial, we had seen that we were adding sonar-project.properties. But in this case, just add .sonarcloud.properties, and in that you just specify what needs to be excluded. Or I would rather say the configuration of this properties file is very similar to what we have done in the Sonar project.properties file while doing the setup of Sonar Cube. So in this specific case, I have just excluded this unwanted folders that I don't want to perform the scan, right? So as soon as you add this, it sees that okay, this specific file is present, and what it has to exclude, it will exclude those files and it will perform the analysis. So first time it will perform the analysis on the entire repos. Now second time onwards, whenever we raise a PR, it will check specific to those files. Okay, and it will be very specific to that specific PR. Okay, so sometimes you might observe that okay, we were seeing like these many vulnerabilities or these many code smells, but in this specific PR, why that analysis are missing, right? So don't confuse with that. So as I mentioned, it will do the analysis very specific to that PR. So what I'm going to do now is, we had talked about Sonar Cloud properties file. I have removed this line Now I'm going to add this. Okay, let's commit this. What smells fixes, and let's push this. So now whenever, as soon as I push this change, okay, and I raise a PR, if you look at now, right, nothing is happening. As you can, let's go to this app, and as you can see, none of the pull request is available here, right? Because I haven't created a pull request. So now as soon as I click a pull request here against master, right, this specific pull request with number 19 will appear here. It should appear here. Yep, here we go. And pull request number is 19, the same commit message that I have added here. And as you can see, it detects some changes because we had raised a PR here, and it will start the analysis. And as you can see here, quality get is passed, and same thing you'll see here as well. See, since we had done the configuration in a right manner, and as soon as we raise a PR, we will see all these checks whatever are defined in your Sonar Cloud will appear here, and it says 0 bugs, 0 vulnerabilities, no 0 security hotspots, and 0 code smells, right? And it says it has passed. I mean, this has passed now. And that's the reason you are getting the option of merge pull request. If any Sonar Cloud quality gets failed, in that specific case you won't see this merge pull request option unless you have the admin access, right? For example, in your team there are two members who one of them has admin access, and the other team member has access to merge the pull request, but he or she doesn't have the admin access. In that specific case, if the raised pull request has failed to pass the quality gate, then in that case it will say, quality gate has failed and you won't be able to merge it. So either he or she has to request to the admin to merge this pull request if it is necessary, else as a standard or best practice is to address that that quality gate, I mean the reported issues, and then re-raise the PR so that it again reperforms the analysis, and if quality gets passed, and then we will get the option to merge pull request. That's the beauty of this. You don't have to do manually anything here, and you will restrict any PRs to get merged into the respective environment, right? Because what if, let's say, some vulnerabilities have been identified and you have raised the pull request and we don't have this setup, right? So what we will do generally, we'll just go to the PR, we'll see, okay, something has been raised, business functionality and everything is working, looks good, we will approve the PR and we'll get that merged into the high environment. But if we have this in place, we know that, okay, some vulnerabilities are present, let's address that before promoting this into higher environment. That's the use case of this. And there are many other advantages as well, and we had already discussed in our previous tutorials, right? So this is how we do the integration of uh, you know Sonar Cloud with GitHub, and we can see that as an action here, right? So similarly, it is very similar to what we have already seen for SonarQube. I know I'm keep repeating this, and I'm sorry for that, but I have to relate this with what we had already seen and why we will have to choose Sonar Cloud. So that's the reason I'm keep repeating this line. Okay, so I would say this is how we do the integration with Sonar Cloud and GitHub. And if we have any other repos, then of course we can perform the analysis same as we have seen for this specific app. And it is not specific to JavaScript, right? It is whatever the languages it is supported by Sonar Cloud. We can do the analysis for all those apps. Okay, and again, as you can see here, these are the languages available. Okay, so for now we have seen for JavaScript. So that's it in terms of Sonar Cloud and its integration with GitHub. Okay, now coming to the last point, miscellaneous. So for miscellaneous, I have covered a few points, like where for example, in real life, right, or in your organization, let's say there is a team, and in that team there are 5 team members, and everyone is mapped to this organization in the Sonar Cloud. So as soon as they raise a PR, they'll see that in action, and if something fails, some quality gets failed, they'll have to re-raise the PR by fixing them, right? And the rest flow remains same. Now the second point is, are we going to do this manually? Of course, as we have seen, we don't have to do this in manually. Now, what if you have to integrate with your Jenkins, your a CI/CD pipeline? How will you do that? So it is very simple. You guys can go to my previous tutorial where I had discussed about how can we do the integration. So in that tutorial, if you guys notice that we have added the SonarQube host URL, right? So here, if you want to scan with integrate with your Jenkins CI/CD, so you'll have to just change the host URL. So in this specific case, host URL will nothing but your sonarcloud.io. That's it. That will be the only change here. And for that, you have to, of course, pass the access token. Okay, as you can see, this is the access token which is being used to authorize your account. So you don't have to pass a username and password, just generate the token, pass that as a parameter of login, and that's it. Just add this Sonar scanner line into your scanner as part of your CI/CD script. I'm not going to cover this integration in detail. If you guys are really interested to integrate this Sonar Cloud with Jenkins CI/CD, please do let me know in the comment section. I'll come up with a new video where I'll talk about the end-to-end integration with Jenkins CI/CD pipeline, if you guys are really interested. Okay. Yep. That's it about miscellaneous section. If you guys have any further question, please do let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely go through them and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. Yep, that's it about this learning tutorial. I hope you guys have identified or found this helpful and can bring this in your in your project, or maybe for your personal project. So again, as I said, please do let me know how you guys have found this tutorial to be useful or not. So please do let me know in the comment section. And and before I wrap up, I must thankful to each of you who have shown a nice love for the one of the tutorial that I have shared, which has almost 17K view now. I believe more than that. Again, thanks for all the love. My intention here is whatever I learn in my day-to-day project or day-to-day learning, I'm trying to share all of them through this platform, and I'm sure that you guys will love this. And yep, that's it for now. Okay, bye for now. Take care, keep learning, keep sharing. Thank you everyone.